Good afternoon. My name is Sonia Desai, and I am the manager at the Guilford County Family Justice Center in Greensboro. I first met Sergeant Nix almost 16 years ago in CID over at the MMOB building. You old schoolers know exactly where that is. I was the victim advocate, and he was a fraud detective at the time. I referred to Sergeant Nix as the guy with the cool hair. However, it was 6 years ago when he was assigned to the Family Victims Unit as the sergeant at the Guilford County Family Justice Center is when our friendship began. During this message, I will refer to Sergeant Nix as Dale because that is how I knew him. Dale and I were instant friends when we walked through the doors of the Family Justice Center. We were inseparable, and it was rare that you would see one of us without the other. We had many conversations about our Jeeps, Kelly and Will, and the books that he was reading. In fact, one day he came to me and said, "Hey buddy, I've had to switch up my reading place. You see, up until a few years ago, you could find Dale at the Starbucks, drinking a cup of coffee at Quaker Village across from Guilford College, reading his book." So when I asked him, "Well, why do you need to change your reading spot?" And he quickly replied in that stern voice that he had, "Well, Sonia, there's just too many liberals out there." Here's the thing about Dale. He could get along with anyone. People were drawn to him because they knew he genuinely cared. He considered all helpers to be family. He believed in the servant's heart. He was very opinionated. He would always respect the opposing argument, but it was really difficult to sway him. I thought to myself over the past few days, I know a lot about Dale, but I had no idea what kind of music he listened to. You see, anytime we rode out together in his car, he always put conservative talk radio on for me. We were so different from different walks of life, but we had so many similarities. One of the many things that Dale and I have in common was our values and beliefs around victimization and crime. We both felt strongly about keeping victims safe and holding offenders accountable for the violent crimes that they have committed. We did this through our high-risk case review, attending first appearances so that we could get high bonds, and assisting clients with their needs. It was often that Dale would sit with victims of abuse and look them in the eye and say, "You got this. You do not deserve to be hurt. Your life matters." Dale would often say that I acted more like a cop and he was more of a victim advocate. He had a presence that could calm a victim down in a heartbeat. Me, on the other hand, was all about catching bad guys. I would say to Dale, "Hey, can we just go after that bad guy? I'm sure it's fine to break down the door and just go in and get him." And he would say, "Sonia, have you heard of this thing called probable cause?" What a technicality. To the Family Victims Unit. He loved being with you. He loved mentoring you. He was already so proud of you. But after these past few days, I know that he would have been so proud. He absolutely adored you. To the Family Justice Center. Boy, did we drive him crazy. Dale loved you. He taught us what it meant to be part of a larger family whose mission was to do good in the world. Will, he was so proud of you. The day you got your driver's permit, he called me and exclaimed, "He did it." He told me everything that you were doing to your Jeep and the things that you were going to do to your Jeep. And he was so excited about you playing lacrosse. Watch out, Northwest lacrosse team. You just gained about 1,000 fans. And finally, I know you and your dad talked about being counselors at Camp Hope. Will, you will be there. I cannot think of a better way for you to honor your dad's legacy than working with youth who have been impacted by trauma and abuse. You will make a fine counselor. Kelly, he loved you deeply and fierce, just the way that you loved him. It was so apparent because he talked about you all of the time. He loved your family dinner nights at Stoke Ridge Tavern. Every home project he ever completed was because he wanted your home to be your sanctuary. He often referred to you, Will, and him being a team. You told us that he would often say, "It's us against the world." I wish you were standing where I am standing right now. I see a sea of blue. I see a sea of love. I see love, so much love. It is a glorious sight up here. Let me be clear, it is now all of us against the world. We got you guys. And finally, Dale and I presented together many times. This past year, we were lucky and honored to present on the national stage at the Alliance for Hope Family Justice Conference in San Diego. We were presenting on high-risk teams and highlighting the good work in Guilford County. Typically, we would introduce each other. So he would introduce me and I would introduce him. In fact, the last time he introduced me, he said all these really great things about me, which I was like, this is great. But he introduced me as his best friend. Please allow me to introduce Sergeant Dale Nix one last time. Sergeant Dale Nix was a 22-year veteran of the Greensboro Police Department. Sergeant Dale Nix began his public service career as a 911 telecommunicator. Sergeant Dale Nix was a financial crimes detective, patrol corporal, patrol sergeant, and police training officer. Sergeant Dale Nix was a team leader for the Greensboro Police Department's Honor Guard. Sergeant Dale Nix was a member of the peer support team. Sergeant Dale Nix was the detective sergeant of the Family Victims Unit at the Guilford County Family Justice Center. Sergeant Dale Nix was a member of the High-Risk Case Team Review, Elder Justice Leadership Team, Child Fatality Review, and so many more. Sergeant Dale Nix was a national presenter and trainer. Sergeant Dale Nix was a best friend to all. Sergeant Dale Nix was a loving husband and father and of his family. And finally, Sergeant Dale Nix confronted evil so he could protect us. Sergeant Dale Nix was a patriot. Sergeant Dale Nix is the definition of what it means to be a cop in America. Sergeant Dale Nix was our hero.